What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Soul Blaze. We are a little bit late and inconsistent with the uploads as of late. I'm a little bit under the weather as you can hear, but that will not stop us from bringing you that fire Draft League content. Now, this video will be covering a Grand Finals game, not just any Grand Finals game, as you can probably see from the title. It is the first ever Grand Finals for Little Cup Draft in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, this game was played some time ago, and we are going to be covering that in today's video. So if you are subscribed to the channel, I really appreciate it. But if you are not, if you are one of those 90% plus people who are not subscribed to the channel, that's probably you. I'm talking to you right now. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button for us and hit that like while you're at it. It really helps me grow the channel, and I really appreciate it. It will help us keep more eyes on the Pokemon Draft League scene and help grow the community. So every like and every subscription helps and goes a long way, and it's free too, so you should go check it out. So without any further ado, let's get right into the game. As a lead, we start off with Meowth, which is a very common lead versus Squirtle is not maybe the most common lead, but Meowth is a super common lead in Little Cup, being able to threaten with Stab Technician boosted fake outs into feints, into just stab double edges, boosted by Life Orb, and having 19 health makes it so that Life Orb only takes 1 damage off your health every time you use a move, as opposed to the regular 2 damage, or even in some severe cases 3. But I believe most of the cases are 2. But being that specific 19 HP on your Pokemon makes it so that having Life Orb, which is the most common item for certain threats, they can just run 19 HP Life Orb, which is I recommend go checking out freezy if you wanna learn more about Little Cup and intricacies like that. He's done a great job of putting some eyes on Little Cup, and has now recently gotten into VGC as well, and he did really well at a tournament, as from what I could hear as well. So we do have the Meowth versus Squirtle matchup lead. This might just be a fake out into Protect on this from Meowth into Squirtle, and then Squirtle might threaten to Shell Smash on the switch. So we'll see what happens here. Turn 1 goes fake out as to be expected. No non-covert cloak makes it flinch. Covert cloak is less common in Little Cup, so you'll see more like you want to use your Eviolites. In Little Cup Draft, there is a restriction of items. You can only have a max of 2 duplicate items on the team at once, which means that not every single member on your squad can hold an Eviolite. That would make the meta game for items very plain and standard, just Eviolites on pretty much everything. Berry Juice, as I covered in a previous video on the channel, has been removed from Generation 9. So until they bring Shuckle back, we don't have Berry Juice. Some leagues are running in Scarlet and Violet and still allowing Berry Juice, but we're not. We want to keep it a little more strict to what the games have been doing in terms of changes. So Berry Juice is not allowed. So as you can see, Squirtle with Berry Juice Shell Smash would have been amazing, but it's most likely Eviolite here because there's not a lot of the metagame that can tank a normal stab boosted double edge, further boosted by Life Orb from a Meowth. So it does take the recoil damage on 1 HP there, and Squirtle flip turns out into Elekid. Now, Elekid is one of the few Pokemon who has 20 speed in the metagame. It's one of the very fastest Pokemon unboosted in the metagame, and can put on tons of threat damage and stuff like that. So it's kind of threatening with the speed, and Spritzee obviously being the best fairy in Little Cup. In terms of its bulk, holding Eviolite, and then if it gets knocked off, which is super common in Little Cup, it has access to moves like Covet, which it can steal opposing Eviolites, or it can steal opposing Life Orbs, just opposing Scarfs, opposing items, which is really strong. Set up Wishes, start Calm Minding, obviously Moonblast being a super good stab move for it. So in terms of momentum, I'd say Elekid is kind of forced to Volt Switch or deal with the situation here, because I don't think Elekid has the firepower off rip to deal with a full health Spritzee. So we'll see what happens here. Fires off a Psychic, obviously, into the opposing Pokemon that was switched into a Spritzee, and goes for a Volt Switch, being faster, not having to deal with the consequence of tanking a Moonblast. As Spritzee sets up a Wish, expecting damage to come in, not killing it, and obviously either going for Protect or predicting to live another hit, which should bring it back up to a lot of HP, being able to tank further hits, setting up more wishes, continuing the cycle, firing off Moonblast, putting on pressure like that. So Stealth Rocks go up in exchange for a Moonblast, and obviously Berry Juice not being an item, this puts Archon into its ability range at 50% HP, having its attack in 2. But in return, getting up Stealth Rock is huge because you chip the Sturdy, that's Onyx's most likely ability, and you also put on a free 25% on Wingull if it's not Heavy Duty Boots, negating Stealth Rock damage, and you also get some, you get a kill on Meowth, leaving it at 6%, which is 1 HP, so when it comes back in, Stealth Rock is going to kill it, and you also get resisted chip damage on Scraggy coming in and Fampy coming in, and you also get you punish switches a lot more. So this Stealth Rock, I would say, is kind of a fair trade for throwing away a Pokemon, essentially. Archon is not going to be able to do that much from this range. It is going to be living as a sack. It might be able to get a Roost off at some point, bringing it out of that defeatist range again, but we'll see what happens. The Wish comes back, restoring the HP. Goes hard into Rufflet, expecting maybe another Wish, another Moonblast, thinking he can live it. Goes for a Brave Bird, which does a ton of damage. If this is Hustle or not, I'm not really sure. I would have to start calculating that. I might be able to do some post-commentary clarifying if that is Hustle or not. But that is severe amounts of damage for Brave Bird, and this holding an Eviolite 100%. Encore making it locking into Brave Bird so that it has to use Brave Bird continually or swap out. Going into Onyx, showing that it's Heavy Duty Boots so that even though rocks are up on the field, it doesn't chip its Sturdy. It has guaranteed Sturdy, pretty much. Brave Bird, though, coming in on an attack is going to chip that Sturdy, but at least you should be tanky enough knowing that it's locked into Brave Bird to tank another one, set up rocks on your own, start Dragon Dancing. You can do all this sort of stuff. You can fire it off. Rock moves is basically forcing the bird out. A rock forcing a bird out in Pokemon is very common. So goes back into Squirtle on the Dragon Dance. Onix should now have the firepower to kill Squirtle from here. If it did previously is very questionable because Onix does have very low attack, but also Squirtle holding an Eviolite is probably going to live a hit. Now that it's Dragon Dance, though, it should be guaranteed faster than Scarf Squirtle, which we can clarify that it's not because it took Eviolite damage earlier. But this Onix is going to be able to finish this Squirtle off and threaten whatever comes in next because it has this +1 attack, +1 speed stage on and is threatening a lot of damage. Vulpix coming in, setting up the reworked Hail. It's now called Snow in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Doesn't do chip damage anymore like it used to, but instead it works more like Sand, still triggering abilities like Slush Rush and not Snow Veil, it's called Snow Cloak, which raises evasiveness, which is banned because, evasiveness and Little Cup making 100% accurate moves miss is going to be severely strong. So, but it still activates the Slush Rush from Cubchoo, doubling its speed from 14 to 28, which is very, very high in Little Cup metagame. You have to be very boosted to be able to contest with that. 17 times 1.5 is what Onix currently sits at. It sits at 25 health. No, 25 speed, I mean. And so it's still not able, despite a Dragon Dance, it's still not able to contest the Cubchoo speed in Snow. So going out into Vulpix Alola and sacking Archon, basically, because it's out of defeatist range and stalling a turn of your own Snow is kind of what you have to do when you're on the back foot versus a Dragon Dance Onix in this situation. Rock Blast comes out very understandably, hitting Ice type for super effective, but also hitting the Archon, killing the Archon from there. Cubchoo going for Protect here. I don't really understand what this play is about. This gives Onix the opportunity to, expecting to live a hit on the switch out and go for another Dragon Dance. You're risking another Dragon Dance. How likely that Dragon Dance is very up to debate, but you are risking it, setting up Stealth Rock, getting another Dragon Dance, and now start contesting your speed. And you are stalling your own turn of Snow, because as you protect, a turn of Snow passes. So I don't really know what that Protect was about. Goes for a Blizzard, showing that you're special or at least mixed in special attack and physical attack. Blizzard is 100% accuracy in Snow. That has not changed with the rework. And revealing your item to be Life Orb, so that now Ray can 100% confirm that the Cubchoo has 28 speed. It's not Scarf in Snow, but it is Life Orb. If it gets Ice Shard or not, I am unsure about. I would have to add that to post commentary as well. but at least it threatens Blizzard on whatever's coming in, and mixed moves as well. Scraggy comes out, and we have both Terra Captains on each side. Scraggy choosing to go for this Terra Steel, expecting Cubchoo to probably stay in. I assume that's what the Brick Break is for. And the reason it's Brick Break over stuff like Drain Punch is because the Vulpix Alola can set up Aurora Veil, which also works now in Snow, and is basically a light screen and reflect in one move that only gets to work if you set it up while Snow is up. But Brick Break obviously breaks through screens, any type of screen. Reflect, Light Screen, Aurora Veil, it's gone as long as it hits. And there's no Ghost type, and Cubchoo has not terrestrialized into a Ghost type, as of yet at least, so we'll see how that works out. So Brick Break is able to threaten that while also doing super effective stab damage from Scraggy, which is a lot of damage. Sacks the Meowth, stalling another turn of Snow. This will also reveal the item of Vulpix Alola. Snow turns are extended by an item called Icy Rock. So Snow still being up pretty much guarantees that Vulpix Alola holds that item. So you have a lot of item information on Ray's side right now. Pretty much knowing that the Elekid is Life Orb, the Cubchoo is Life Orb, and that's both the Life Orb users. Squirtle was one of the Eviolite users, so only one Eviolite user can remain, which is most likely the Rufflet. And we don't know as if it's Scarfed or not yet, but it's most likely the last Eviolite user. So you have a lot of item information from Ray's side, which is information is half the battle in Pokemon, if not more, because knowing what your opponent has and it makes it easier to outplay versus not knowing what it is and having to guess. Fampi comes in threatening ground immunity on electric moves. Elekid just goes for a Psychic, knowing it's low HP and don't want anything else to get knocked off. Happily takes that trade, its life, for putting paralysis on Fampi, being able to come in and threaten stuff like setup moves. Now that Fampi doesn't have a lot of firepower, it can threaten to remove items that it knows the opponent has now, but it that sets Muse up in a position to boost in some kind of way to try and blow through the Spritzy, which is very healthy, and Scraggy, which is now a Steel type, and probably Eviolite, you know. So this sets up an opportunity for Muse. This gives Muse the momentum, goes in a Rufflet, and starts bulking up. Starts using a boost move. Rock Tomb comes out, does chip damage and a guaranteed lowering of speed, knowing that if Fampi goes down, it's kind of like an insurance. But when Fampi goes down, instead of having to switch and dealing with a +1 attack, +1 defense Rufflet, you now can sack your Fampi, come in clean, and threaten to extinguish this Rufflet because you should be faster because of the speed from Rock Tomb and potentially having some chip damage as well. But as you can see, in a couple of turns, Roost is coming out, making HP not a problem. So whatever has to revenge this Rufflet has to be able to pretty much kill it from full HP. But they don't have to worry about speed. So something like Spritzy, for example, with T-Bolt could come in and try and chip it, then dying and sacking, and then coming in with something like Wingull. You'll probably want to use your special threats to kill this Rufflet, because having 3 times your own defense is going to make you live hits that otherwise would have been really devastating. So Fampi goes down at the current stat boosts. Wingull comes in, chips, shows that it's not heavy duty boots, and shows that it's not Life Orb either to boost the Surf, and then almost kills Rufflet and trades its life in return. Snow with Cubchoo still on the table. The Brave Bird from Rufflet is going to be enough to trade its life, make it a 2v2. No boost on either side. Ray has to deal with some rocks damage, but shouldn't be that much because nothing is weak to rock on the team. But has to deal with the fact that Alola Vulpix is going to come in and set up that Snow again for Cubchoo to use its overpowering speed. In my opinion, I would have probably gone Scraggy here, knowing that they somehow have to go from Vulpix to Cubchoo. So if they hard swap, you Brick Break. If they set up screens, you can Brick Break. You can also have the potential to Dragon Dance. I don't think there's a lot that Vulpix Alola can do to threaten Scraggy to kill 2 ice types like that. And being healthy as well, it shouldn't really be that much of a problem. I don't know the matchup completely, though. Ray might sit on some information that I don't, so I'm not going to discredit Ray here for making this decision. I'm just telling that would have been an option that I most likely would have gone for myself. Spritzy comes in, taking some Stealth Rock damage, and then Vorville goes up, sets up a Wish, and starts to Calm Mind boost. And threatening to, knowing this Cubchoo has shown a special attack, knowing that Calm Mind is here, is going to threaten to out-tank the damage of the two, what Ray believes to be special attackers. Having that special defense is going to make you ungodly tanky, and you can encore them into using special moves on you, and you can keep Wish and Calm Mind going until you can Moonblast kill everything. The Cubchoo, however, chooses to Steel Terra as well, and goes for now a Stab Heavy Slam, which severely chunks the Spritzy, and I assume this is something that that Ray was not expecting it to be. Steel Terra Heavy Slam, having to go for this Gambit, and so another turn passes, a Snow turn passes, Life Orb Chip, sets up a Wish, does not have Protect, however, so has to tank this Blizzard, which it cannot at that low health. Scraggy comes in, Steel Terra, high HP, and since Cubchoo is faster, goes for a Superpower, which is going to lower its attack and defenses in exchange for an attack or a turn for Ray. I don't think Wish is coming down, but either way, Ray is kind of forced into a bad position here because they don't have Drain Punch because they do have Brick Break, and Dragon Dancing is going to make you not faster than this, and while Snow is up, so it's kind of a predicament here for Ray. Does go for a Dragon Dance, however, the game is pretty much decided, not Ray not being able to contest the speed in Snow, and we have crowned our SOS Stage 2 Season 1 champion, which is Muse the Best, with the Terra Cubchoo. So congrats to Muse, and thank you guys for watching this episode of Pokemon Draft League Recaps. I don't know if I'll give it an official title yet, but I severely hope you enjoyed the video, and have yourselves a wonderful, blessed day. This has been your boy Soulblaze, and as always, I'll see you whatever I choose to do next. Have a blessed day. Peace.